It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. All that and more coming up next.
Now from the banks of Lake Erie, EA Sports welcomes you to Huntington Bank Field here in downtown Cleveland. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and off we go from Cleveland. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, a former Blue Hen out of Delaware. It's Joe Flacco.
Remember when the conversation was, is Joe Flacco elite? Well, at one point, he was elite enough to not only win a Super Bowl, but be named the MVP of that game. And for a time, one of the top-paid quarterbacks in the league. Not bad for a young man who transferred to Delaware from Pitt while in college. This guy has had a great career. Not many chances now to lead an offense, but still capable if put on the field.
Flacco. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. On the jet sweep, this is Johnson. And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. Now Flacco. He finds his man, complete. That's Ford. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be second and a couple.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, they turn to Ford. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Flacco looks to throw. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. It'll go as a gain of 4. And now it's 3rd and 3.
It's safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already, I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
And he is going to have a Browns first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Now Flacco. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jerry Jeudy from 4 yards out. And the Browns get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. That was a big throw right there on 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to be prepared for you to throw the ball on 3rd and goal. Because really, 2nd down, 2nd and goal, that's your play action time, and you're not sure whether they're going to run it or throw it. 3rd down, you're usually sure they're probably going to pass it. Even more impressive that they got it done. And on the opening drive of the game.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
You want to talk about a driven player, partner. This guy is absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 27.
They'll run. Here's Devon Achane.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. And that is caught. at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. It's a big play there for Miami. 46 yards.
I guess we got a good idea about what the game plan is for attacking the secondary. No beating around the bush with this crew. His first throw of the game is a deep shot, and it connects. That's a tendency breaker right there because normal.
Kevin Stefanski consulted with his guys above, and they've told him throw that challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Now Tua.
Throw caught by Achane.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be second and goal.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal.
A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football down.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Dolphins are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
Well, it was third and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And we are tied at 7. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Ford. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
From the gun, Flacco.
To the sideline and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here's 2nd and 10.
On the ground, it's Ford. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Setting up to throw, Flacco.
That's caught left side by Judy.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
The drive starts with a run from Achane.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. From the gun, it's Tua. And Waller taking it in over the middle. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Seven, our score after 1. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Now a 2nd and 10.
In motion, Hill. They fake the handoff. Now Tua.
Finds Hill on the crossing route, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Play action. Now it's Tua.
He'll let this go deep for Waddle.
And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10. Back to the ground, Achane.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Tua. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. DeAndre Carter back deep.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
The Browns set and ready to go on offense. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Passing play, Flacco. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Flacco. This is the tight end, Njoku. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Flacco.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience, because I do know as a defender it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes, because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
They run with Ford. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 61 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Not only an explosive play, but an explosive run. I mean, broken tackles along the way to pick up that yardage.
The way things kept churning for him, feet were moving, the legs were driving. Looks like someone who spent his off-season working on hill work, running through sand, all the things that you want to build up those leg muscles.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now a first carry here for the running back. He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it?
Now a handoff up the middle. Ford. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
3rd down, Flacco from the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
A nice stick and stop for a loss there from Jalen Phillips.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
To pass, Flacco. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. This the most important of them all, 3rd and goal. Here's Flacco. This is caught. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Now, a field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. They're going to try it. Here's Flacco. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They wanted to throw for it. A surprise does not work on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Dolphins celebrate their goal line stand. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On play action, here's Tua. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Partner, you got to check this out because while they rightly congregate around the guy who just made the play on field, take a look at the sideline because they all went over to congratulate their punter because they remember it was his kick that set them up so close to the end zone and gave them an opportunity to get the safety that we just saw to add to their lead. That's teamwork right there. Full complementary football, and they got it done.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. This is taken at the 15. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They will start this drive with Ford. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 76 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here's Flacco. Pass caught. He's got Tillman. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Cedric Tillman, 48 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their own 26.
Hand off to Achane to begin the drive.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Again, it's Achane.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun.
And Tua going to slide to a halt, but he will have the first down.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. That one complete to Hill. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker.
And the Browns are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on 3rd down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Flacco looks to throw. Throw left side complete. That's 4. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Flacco.
And a dangerous throw there. Nearly intercepted on the sideline, but it's incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And again, it's Flacco to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 31-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Now Flacco.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Flacco from the gun. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that. But I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it.
And Tua going to slide to a halt, but he will have the 1st down.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. Now Tua.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
And this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. In motion, Hill. Tua going to throw.
The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a 2nd half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
From the gun, it's Tua.
They'll let this go deep for Waddle.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. Well, now how about this return? He's to midfield. Still going past the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. And people still trying to get back to their seats from the concession stand here at the start of the 3rd quarter, and boom, we got points on the board.
And you just identified why the bulk of stadiums have increased presence in the concession areas, right? TVs, loudspeakers, so people can still follow the game. And right now, they're bummed out that they missed that big return to start this half.
Sanders on for the extra point. And it's good. It cuts it to 2. 16-14 our score. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Browns offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Flacco. Quick completion here to Johnson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On 3rd down, it's 4th. And, boy, he is very close to a first down. But from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here. So, for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Miami set to take over. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. A run straight ahead with Achane. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. They set up the screen. Achane has it. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here comes Carter. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Browns drive about to get started. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8.
In motion, the tight end. They'll keep it on the ground. Ford. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
3rd and 8.
Now it's Flacco.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series. But what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their own 26. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
He'll let this go deep for Waddle.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Running right, here's Achane.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Achane here, they stay on the ground.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Here's Tua.
And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down.
It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
But found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long.
They'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now,
as he's on to punt for Miami. On the return, Carter. 6-yard return after a punt of 48.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
This now a 3rd and 4.
To pass, Flacco.
And this pass broken up. Now the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They complete it to Hill. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Now 2nd and 5. Hill going to go in motion right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he'll have a Dolphins 1st down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 57 yards.
And the Dolphins have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front.
Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter.
The Browns drive about to get started.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They'll try the left side. It's Ford. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
96 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Oh, look at the juke. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Second and 5.
Bootleg, Flacco. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 19. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Up the middle they go. Ford. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Here's Flacco. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal. Flacco. His pass caught at the 4. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Ford is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
And this is the time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
Here we go. The Browns will go for 2. Flacco looking to throw for it. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27 of the Dolphins offense, and Tyreek Hill set to take over once more. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter.
Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Looking to pass. Tua. And a little floater there is incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
The offense on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 22.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That one complete to Hill. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Slot man moves right. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa.
And that nearly intercepted. Oh, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's second down.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
In motion, Hill. On play action, here's Tua. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Myles Garrett able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins have tied things up here in the 4th. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. This offense making its way back out, led by their running back. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest to this 4th quarter. There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's 3rd and 9. Now Flacco. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now we get Tyreek Hill and the rest of the Miami offense back out there. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Here's Achane to start the drive. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Now Tua. Washington with a catch, middle of the field. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Play action. Now it's Tua.
A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
84 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. They fake the handoff. Now Tua.
He'll dump this off to Achane.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Up the middle, Achane.
And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
That is caught, and he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now Achane on 1st and 10.
And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
Here comes 2nd down at 5. Here's Tua. Right back to Achane on 2nd down.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock.
Here's 1st and goal. Now Tua. They'll run. Achane.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Tua. They'll give this to Achane. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal. Throwing Tua. They'll try and run it with Achane.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So a big one coming now for Jason Sanders. This to take the lead here in the final minute. The kick by Sanders is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Flacco set to lead this offense. Down by a field goal. 35 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down.
Flacco. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. Clock at 30 seconds. 2nd and 10. Now Flacco. Connecting with Johnson. And he's going to pick up a 1st down here as that clock continues to run.
This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
One last gasp for Flacco. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah,